like where do you see Julian, renewable energy going, and do you think that this is a space for people to be profitable in, like yourself and others who are coming up with better methods and also better strategies to even recycle smaller items and smaller goods to turn it into fuel and also energy? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I see renewable energy as being an inevitable thing because, ultimately we're at a point on Earth where our unsustainable practices are catching up with us, right? So it's an inevitable part of the future. And with devices like my own, that deal with waste, that's a huge part of it, of course, because now instead of our waste just building up, which is going to be like an avalanche coming back down on us one day in the oceans and the landfills, now we're dealing with the and turning it into energy, or we're rather recovering the energy out of it because everything is made of energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So ultimately, this technology opens up the avenues of true closed cycle, a true closed cycle in our economy, in our energy economy. Like how there's the water cycle, there's the energy cycle too. And for a long time, our energy cycle has been, we put all this energy in to make something, we sell it, so then that's like energy because that's money, and then it just hits a brick wall after it's done being used. Now we're closing that loop because now instead of hitting that brick wall, now that energy is going back. It's going back into whether that's a car or whatever to heat stuff up. And that is an amazing part of what this does, because this is what governments and agencies are all looking for. When they have all these projections, like by 2030, we want to be here, we want to be there. A huge part of that is your waste stream. You have to deal with your waste stream in a sustainable way. And that's exactly what this is doing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's always going to be different companies and even especially the government sector that is going to want to learn about these methods and these opportunities, especially to help the earth, because you've been always promoting it since, of course, I've been looking at your page, but you've been educating people on this even in your teenage years all the way into your adult years that are ahead. And like talk to us about like your process. We definitely want to get into the nitty gritty. Like, what is your process that you use? We know you post a lot of videos and also tutorials to show people your methods, but like, what is your process step by step for people who may not be able to see it right now until they follow you, of course, on social? But like, how is your day-to-day process of creating this fuel?
So I've designed 4 reactors in my backyard. I'm on my 4th design, and in short, how it works is shredded plastic goes inside of the reactor, and the reactor, once again, as I mentioned before, is a closed container, no oxygen. Shredded plastic, there's these blades on the inside that spin it around, agitate it, almost like a turntable, right? And now, at that point, microwave heating enters and bombards the plastic, and microwaves heat very efficiently, very, very efficiently, and they're run off of electricity. So, once again, microwaves enter the plastic, they break it down, but since there's no oxygen, there's no fire, there's no combustion, there's no all those toxins you get from burning plastic. Instead, it breaks down to a vapor, and we can condense some parts of that vapor to get out our oils, our gasoline, diesel, jet fuel. There's also some parts of that vapor which do not condense. They're a permanent vapor. That's natural gas, the equivalent of natural gas. Collect that, press it into propane tanks. And also, there's a last product, a solid carbon product. That's all that's left of the plastic in the end. There's no ashes. It's just solid carbon and minerals and any type of metals or anything left over. So that's collected, and there's a ton of uses for that as well. With it being a solid carbon product, that is a solid form of CO2. Instead of CO2 going in the air, now there's a solid carbon which is being able to be buried or put into concrete, into tires. There's so many uses of carbon. So that's the process in shorts.
Yeah, I see when you are showing people the step-by-steps on your social, which is awesome because you're actually get behind the scenes and also being able to see your day-to-day operations, especially at being 19 years of age, when you could be doing so many other things. You're actually trying to help save the earth and also come up with newer and more improved methods for renewable energy. And so, like, talk to us, like, how has your friend or your support circles been? Like, have people been looking at you like, Julian, what the heck are you doing, bro? You're supposed to be enjoying this day and this time of your life and partying and getting wasted, getting lit. You know what I'm saying? How all the folks are in their teens and college talking about right now, versus you are someone that has a mission and has a purpose that you are fulfilling even in your early teenage years. And so, like, talk to us about what have been your friendship advice or even feedback. Have they been hating? Have they been supportive? And then also, like, how do you stay motivated to stay focused on the mission at hand versus getting distracted by some of the other things in life?
Yeah, when I first started, majority of people around me were like, you can't do that. It's not happening. So, I get it to a point when I do things where I just stop asking people, because if it's something I know I want to do and I'm committed to that, there's no point in me asking people just for them to tell me, no, you can't. I don't even like that in my life. I keep my friend group very small. Only people that are there to support and speak life and build this up verbally and with their support. Those are the only type of friends I have. So I don't really have many friends, honestly. And I didn't, along the process for much of this, I was pretty much alone. I built this alone, and I would spend days and days, researching alone and all these types of things, because at the end of the day, people believe it now and people are supportive now after the fact, after they see the success, but in the moment when they saw me building and starting this, they're just like, oh, okay, that's not gonna work, or you're gonna hurt yourself or something. They didn't have faith in me, but I had faith in myself. And being motivated for sure is a huge part of this when you're starting. It definitely helps now with my position, having a following and stuff, because if I am ever demotivated, I can just look at, wow, look, I've inspired all these people and stuff. But, I've only started posting about this last year. And like I said, I've been working on this for about 3 years. So for the first 2 years, it was completely on my own. So at that point in time, it was my only motivation was just seeing the vision of this is going to change the world, the vision of I'm going to do this, I want to do this beyond just for anything else, but for me, because I'm tired of plastic in the ocean, I'm tired of plastic waste. I'm doing this for me. And that's what it has to come down to. Your foundation. You have to build your roots and your foundation before anything else.
Man, that's definitely inspirational right there too, King. And that goes into another area. But Wisdom and Twitter Space listeners, if you have any questions for my very special VIP guest, Julian Brown, feel free to ask any at this time. But I wanted to even touch on the point. I know you're a black man, a black king like myself. Like, why do you think so many of us that especially are men, black kings, should go into technology, STEM, and even into career fields with the sciences? And like, how have you seen this being a trend, or where do you see this going in the future for more black men to get into engineering, the sciences, and into even these renewable green space